Richard Corbett, MEP. Today, the House of Commons will be voting on Article 50. What way would you like to see Labour MPs vote in this?
It's not the final votes today, of course. This is what's called the second reading. It then goes through a committee stage with amendments, then a third reading, then it goes to the House of Lords, no doubt amend it, and then it comes back. Personally, I think we should not be voting to trigger Article 50 on the basis that Theresa May has outlined. I think the Labour Party should be united, at least in opposing the sort of Brexit that she wants. Many of my colleagues would say we should be opposing Brexit full stop, because after all, this was an advisory referendum won by a narrow majority. Nigel Farage was the one that said 52-48 settles nothing. Won on the basis of a pack of lies and with a gerrymandered franchise. Most British citizens living in other EU countries could not vote. Let's not forget that. So there's a legitimate argument to say that we should stop it. But even if you do accept that there is a mandate because of the referendum to start the process of Brexit, it's got to be a Brexit that works without sinking the economy, without damaging Britain. And what Theresa May is proposing would be very damaging. So I think Labour should oppose her plans for Brexit.
What do you think about Theresa May's recent visit to the US, to Turkey, to India, to talk about trade deals? Do you think that the UK could carve out separate trade deals that would be as successful as its membership of the European Union?
I think these visits are rather a mark of desperation. The European Union is half of Britain's trade. If you're turning your back to that, you need to do better than that with the rest of the world. It means she will be conceding almost anything to get a good trade deal. But the US is about, 14% of Britain's trade, compared to 50% in Europe. You need a heck of a good deal with the US to even make up part of that, and a heck of a good deal with India, and a heck of a good deal with Australia, and so on and so forth. I think it's illusory.
Can you say something about the EU's relationship with the US at this stage? We've seen that Trump is going to propose an ambassador who would like to see the breakup of the EU. I mean, how is this in the US interest, apart from all else?
Yes, imagine if any country sent as an ambassador to the United States somebody who advocates independence for California. Okay, that's perhaps not so realistic, but to Canada, somebody who's advocating independence for Quebec, or to Britain, an ambassador from America advocating independence for Scotland. Ambassadors normally should not be intervening in the place they are sent to advocate the breakup of that place. That is not normal diplomatic practice.
And we've seen Theresa May truly embracing the new Trump administration, holding hands even with the new President Trump, the 45th President of the United States. What message does that send out?
Well, it's a message that the right-wing half of her party loves, but I think the middle ground of public opinion in Britain is somewhat shocked to see her rush to embrace Donald Trump, given all the things that he's been doing in his first week in office. People are very uneasy about that. And given also his vociferous support for Brexit, people are beginning to see a pattern here. Brexit, Trump, right-wing, sometimes very right-wing political objectives, all holding together. It may also make at least some people rethink on the question of Brexit.